Right now, Wisconsin could soon find itself back on a do not travel list. We'll tell you whether your travel plans might be impacted.
Plus, we're waiting for the final answer from the Big Ten this morning. We'll hear from local bar owners on how a football season could help them out.
One more day with hazy sunshine and mild temperatures before more fall-like conditions arrive. All of the details coming up.
This is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, folks. Happy Wednesday. It is September 16th. I'm Leah Lynchide.
And I'm Chris Stanford. Health officials in Dane County are urging school leaders to keep classes online, saying that although a court injunction nullified the emergency order number 9, it's still too risky to go back in person amid a COVID-19 spike. Public Health also filing a motion with the Supreme Court for that decision. Meantime, the Iowa Grant Elementary and Middle School will be closed for the rest of the week because of coronavirus concerns. The district posted on Facebook saying it made the decision after taking guidance from the Iowa County Department of Health. The closure will not impact the high school.
New reports from the CDC say the coronavirus is disproportionately affecting minority children. Though kids are much less likely to catch COVID-19 or become seriously ill from it, the CDC says kids who do get sick are more likely to die from it if they're Black or Hispanic. Just over 120 people under the age of 21 have died from the virus in the U.S. since March. That's a fraction of the nearly 200,000 total deaths. According to Bloomberg, minority children made up 75% of those deaths. Hispanic children accounted for 45%. Black kids made up 29%.
I'm Josh Bretter in the Alert Center this morning, following a developing story with Big Ten football. Right now, there are multiple media reports that the Big Ten is reversing course and will vote in favor of playing football this fall. If there are games at Camp Randall this season, the stadium wouldn't be packed with fans, but businesses along Regent Street are preparing to welcome people for the games. Scotty Barr's general manager says with regulations like a 25% capacity limit, game days would look much different, but they're planning for any scenario, and he's still cautiously excited.
It would be huge for businesses in the area to even be able to have the games on TV if fans aren't allowed in the stadium, and be able to kind of rejuvenate after this tough time.
Scotty Barr has outdoor seating and will work with health regulations if they have the opportunity to welcome back fans on game days.
So the Big Ten's decision comes as one SEC coach says most of his football team has tested positive for the virus. Ed Orgeron, head coach at defending national champs LSU, says almost all the players either have or have had the virus. Orgeron didn't give the exact number of players, and he said he didn't know the exact percentage who had tested positive. He says, though, now that they've had it, he's hopeful they don't catch it again and that all the players will remain eligible for games. Current guidelines for the SEC say that once a player contracts COVID-19, they don't have to be tested again for 90 days once they recover. The New York governor's office is trying a new tactic to get more people to mask up with some help from actor Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd here, actor and certified young person. A few days ago, I was talking on the iPhone with my homie, Governor Cuomo, and he's just going off about how us millennials need to wear masks because, get this, apparently a lot of COVID is transmitted by us millennials.
So the PSA features Rudd, who is 51, dressed up in a bright yellow hoodie and sweatpants, holding a skateboard and pretending to be a millennial. Recent weeks and months have seen a number of examples of young people gathered at crowded events while not wearing face coverings.
It's funny. Wisconsin is now the state with the 5th highest daily reported cases per capita of COVID-19. According to the Washington Post, we've seen a 45% increase in new cases in just the past week. In that same time, we've seen a nearly 17% increase in daily deaths reported and about a 3% increase in hospitalizations. Yesterday, 10 more people in the state died from COVID-19 complications, and there are 56 additional hospitalizations. There are also more than 1,200 new cases reported in the past 24 hours. The positivity rate, it did drop down to 11% after spiking earlier in the week. The 7-day average has also dropped a bit to 14%.
Officials in Chicago are once again telling people to not travel to Wisconsin.
If you're able to avoid travel to Wisconsin this week, please do so, and we will continue to assess the numbers.
The message comes from the Chicago Department of Public Health. The city has not added Wisconsin back onto its travel advisory list, but it says it's concerned about the spike in cases here. And if that trend continues, our state will be re-added.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer is calling for one of the president's top health officials to resign.
The Secretary of Health and Human Services, Alex Azar, has not only failed to push back against these outrageous moves by President Trump, he's been almost entirely silent about the chaos and mismanagement in his own agency.
Senator Schumer claims Azar is failing to protect his department from political pressure while suppressing the damage being dealt by the pandemic. According to Politico, Schumer also accuses Azar of putting the president's political interests over the safety of Americans. This comes after recent criticism of the health department and reports of its interference in data regarding the virus. Earlier this week, Azar refuted those claims, saying science and data drive the decisions at HHS, not politics. Pfizer says it sees some potential with its possible COVID vaccine. It's now expanding trial studies to 44,000 people. The company says the vaccine is looking safe and expects the results to be released by next month. Pfizer's CEO says they're sharing more information with this vaccine than they normally would to keep things open and transparent. USA Today reports participants in early trials for the drug have reported only mild side effects so far, including headaches and sore arms.
We turn to the forecast at 6:05 this morning with Hattie. Just a little bit of daylight out there, but unfortunately waking up with more haze yet again today.
I know, we're really not able to see much on our camera shot this morning. This is from our station looking to the east, where we would normally pick up a nice sunrise, but again, that haze in the atmosphere has really blocked that out for us this morning. Take a look at temperatures across the state early today. 63 here in Madison. As you head northward, it gradually drops off, but not a lot. Temperature in Rhinelander still 58 degrees, 57 at Ladysmith, 57 as well in Superior. So not a huge temperature drop off as you head to the north. Take a look at our future track smoke forecast. Again, most of the state covered in that haze, and really that's going to stay the course for the day today. As we head into the afternoon, though, things start to clear out a little bit in the north woods, and that clearing line does work its way into southern Wisconsin behind a cold front later on this afternoon. So we might see a little bit of an improvement as we head into Thursday. Here's a look at what's happening on the radar maps. Again, no clouds here, so nothing showing up on radar. There is a cold front, though, sitting across the central part of the state. From north of Green Bay all the way to south of Eau Claire, that front sits across the state. It will continue to move southward. No precipitation, though, expected as this cold front moves through. So a dry passage with the front. There will just be a shift in the winds. Take a look at our wind speeds right now. Here in southern Wisconsin, those winds are from the southwest. As you head up into the northwoods, those winds shift around to the northwest. So just that wind shift expected today. Temperatures as we go through the day are going to still warm up today. We're looking at highs in the mid 70s. So our cool down really starts tomorrow. Take a look at the extended forecast. We're back to highs in the 60s for a couple of days. Sunshine, though, is expected. So even though we're cooling down, it's still going to feel pretty darn nice here in southern Wisconsin.
All right, Hattie, thank you. 6:07 right now as we follow some breaking news overnight. One person is dead after a motorcycle crash on Madison's west side. According to police, people in the area of Whitney Way and Regent Street say they saw a person on a motorcycle speeding before losing control and crashing around 8:15 last night. That person was taken to the hospital where they later died. Police continue their investigation this morning.
Visits to Wisconsin are continuing for the Trump campaign this week. Donald Trump Jr. stopped by Rothschild yesterday following a visit from Vice President Pence in Janesville the day before. The president's son encouraged people to get out and vote on November 3rd, pointing out the importance of our battleground state.
We do have to be on the ground in places like Wisconsin. We have to make that point, and we have to do it aggressively. We have to be on the ground. We do have to do those things, but we like doing it anyway. And you can see by the enthusiasm of the crowd, it was awesome to be here.
During his visit, Trump Jr. addressed a crowd of supporters, touching on peace in the Middle East and the importance of blue-collar jobs. The president's son also criticized Joe Biden's involvement with NAFTA and claimed that Biden is shipping the country's jobs off to China.
The World Trade Organization says the United States is in breach of global regulations with its tariffs placed on China. The WTO is singling out the multi-billion-dollar tariffs enacted by President Trump during the trade war with China. It says the U.S. broke trading rules because it singled out China with the regulations and were above the maximum rate. The president's administration says the tariffs are justified because China was stealing intellectual property. Reuters reports this decision won't have an immediate impact on the U.S., and the government is likely to appeal the ruling.
6:09 right now on a Wednesday morning. Let's take a look at your first warn traffic, and we start with a look at your drive times right now. There's your drive times as you head out, moving in the green. Look at the Madison maps. Really the only delays that we're seeing along East Washington Avenue in the yellow there. If you're hopping on the Beltline, though, we are moving at posted speeds, all in the green to start us off on this hump day. That's your first warn traffic.
Coming up, protests and a pandemic. Tough year for businesses on State Street. How you can help with their recovery.
And we're also tracking the latest out of the South this morning, where parts of the U.S. are feeling the effects of a now Category 2 hurricane. Keep watching News 3 Now this morning.
Ashley Home Store's 4-day semi-annual customer appreciation sale is on with a deal we've never offered before and may never be able to offer again. Hurry in, this sale can't be extended through Monday only at Ashley Home Store. This is home.
Let us help you create your family's recipe for health. SSM Health and News 3 Now are making it easy by putting all the ingredients right at your fingertips. With topics like healthy habits, nutrition, and mental well-being, there's something for everyone. Visit Channel 3000's Time for Kids page for advice from SSM Health experts.
And catch fresh and informative reports on News 3 Now.
Take time for kids with SSM Health and News 3 Now.
Joe Biden tried to cut Social Security and Medicare for decades.
When I argued that we should freeze federal spending, I meant Social Security as well. I meant Medicare and Medicaid. I tried it twice, I tried it a third time, and I tried it a fourth time.
Now Biden's promising your benefits to illegal immigrants. President Trump is protecting Social Security and Medicare, lowering costs, expanding access, keeping his word.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Lately, we've found new ways to support and care for each other. And while every gesture counts, so too does every dollar. That's why American Family Insurance is returning $425 million to our customers. This includes a 10% savings for all current and new auto customers for the rest of the year. We hope this does your world some good and reminds you that supporting your dreams means the world to us. Contact your agent or go to amfam.com to learn about more ways to save.
Today, you can turn your home into a university, and you can turn a lasting career into reality. With Herzing University, you can earn a degree in today's hottest fields, anytime, online. Herzing is recognized, accredited, experienced, and transfer-friendly, with more than 90% student satisfaction. For a limited time, we'll waive your enrollment fee. See what your career can turn into with Herzing University. I'm possible at Herzing. Call or click today.
Fry Construction is celebrating their 25-year anniversary, which means big savings on home repairs and improvements. No job is too small or too big, and your safety is always our concern. Respected in the industry and voted Best of Madison, Fry Construction delivers lasting quality for your home. And now, for a limited time, save 25% off gutters or insulation with a full roof, siding, or window project, all with zero down, 0% interest for 12 months. Contact Fry Construction today.
During the 4-day customer appreciation sale at Ashley Home Store, we're offering a mattress deal so good, we've never offered it before, and we may never be able to again. Hurry, it's through Monday only at Ashley Home Store. This is home.
A few hours ago. Within the last hour, crews have officially put out that fire. It happened in a residential area just off of Winnico Road after a stove caught on fire. So far, we've learned that a woman who lived in that Monona home is being checked out for smoke inhalation.
One person is dead, 4 others are injured after a car crash involving an ambulance. It happened yesterday in Fond du Lac. Wisconsin State Patrol says a car ran a red light and struck that ambulance at an intersection. Fond du Lac's fire chief said the ambulance was taking a non-emergency patient to the hospital. A passenger in the car was ejected and died from their injuries.
More than a year after the Diemel brothers went missing, their remains are back home in Wisconsin. Justin and Nick Diemel, who lived in Shawano County, were killed after traveling to Missouri in July of 2019 to collect money for their cattle business. They disappeared after visiting a farm, and their burnt remains were later found in Missouri and Nebraska.
For them to be able to be home with their family, and this is where they belong, closure, you know. They can have a proper place to rest, and the family can go there and visit.
Members of the community lined the streets to honor the brothers as they were escorted by the fire department to their home Monday. A visitation for the two is scheduled for next Sunday. The man accused of killing them has pleaded not guilty to the charges and is awaiting trial.
Louisville, Kentucky has settled a wrongful death lawsuit with the family of Breonna Taylor. The city awarded the family $12 million, its largest settlement ever in a police misconduct case. Louisville police shot and killed Taylor, a young African-American woman, in her home. The settlement also includes plans to reform search warrant policies and add social workers to some 911 calls. Those are things Taylor's family demanded be included before they would agree to settle. The settlement is one of the largest in the country involving a police shooting death. The criminal case is currently in the hands of a grand jury.
Now, huge wildfires still burning in the western parts of the country are prompting serious air quality concerns. Smoke and ash have filled the skies around the fire zones in Washington State, Oregon, and California. Officials are urging people to stay indoors with their windows shut, also warning that the air will likely remain toxic for days or even weeks after the fires are extinguished. We're also tracking the latest developments this morning on Hurricane Sally as strong winds and heavy rain are hitting the Gulf Coast. We do know that this hit or made landfall within the last hour or so, and we've got Aaron here tracking the very latest. Obviously the wrong picture there. Aaron, what can you tell us? I know a lot of rain down there this morning.
Yeah, it certainly is. We had the landfall occur about 4:45 this morning Central Daylight Time as a Category 2 hurricane. You can see all the wind that was blowing with the storm as it made landfall. 105 mile per hour sustained winds at landfall. That makes it a Category 2. And the wind is also bringing water into the coastline. The storm surge, that's a big concern with this hurricane. You can see the storm surge warnings that are in effect around Mobile, Gulf Shores, Pensacola. The hurricane did make landfall around Gulf Shores this morning, and you can see the circulation there right around Gulf Shores bringing the heavy rainfall. You can see the eye wall there, the darker orange and red showing up on the north side of the storm. That's bringing all that heavy rainfall into the Pensacola area around Gulf Shores as well, and all this is going to continue to the north and east. The big concern aside from the storm surge and the wind is also the heavy rainfall because of the slow movement of this storm. Right now centered over Gulf Shores, moving only at 3 miles per hour, so flooding is going to be a big concern over the course of the next 12 to 24 hours. You can see the wind sustained at 105 miles per hour. As it moves onshore, it is going to be weakening down to a tropical storm later on tonight, down to about 40 miles per hour as we head towards 1 o'clock in the morning on Thursday. But here's a look at that flooding potential. Rain estimates anywhere from 10 to 20 inches total from what's already fallen to what's going to be falling over the course of the next 24 hours. So big impacts down along the Gulf Coast. Meanwhile, back here at home in Wisconsin, we don't really have too much to worry about, Hattie. Just dry conditions and some cooler temps on the way.
Yeah, we're on easy street in the weather office for the next few days. We don't have any major storm systems moving in this direction, and we're actually starting off on a pretty mild note this morning. Take a look at these current temperatures. Keep in mind, it's mid-September. Normally we'd be dropping into the 40s at night, but this morning we are in the 50s and even 60s still in some spots. 63 here in Madison, 61 in Janesville, as well as the Dells. Here's a look at our weather track forecast model showing you, or rather this is satellite and radar, just no cloud cover in the region, although if you look out the window, it does look pretty cloudy right now. We still have that hazy sunshine. For your virtual learning today, here's your forecast. If you have any time for a break, looks like the weather will cooperate for some time outside. Temperatures will climb to highs in the mid-70s by later on this afternoon, but just hazy sunshine expected all day today. So anytime you have a chance to get outside, the weather should be just fine.
Beautiful day ahead. Hattie, thank you. So you have a chance to help some of the stores on State Street that have been having a tough time this year. Madison's Central Business Improvement District says of the 150 stores on State, 20 have already closed permanently. To help the rest get back on their feet, they're launching a new fundraising campaign this week with money going toward the Downtown Madison Fund. If you'd like to help, our friends at Madison Magazine have a link to do so over on channel3000.com. A new survey shows the coronavirus has left the restaurant industry in general in limbo. The National Restaurant Association says nearly 100,000 restaurants have closed, either permanently or for the long term because of the pandemic. That's left nearly 3 million employees out of work. The survey looks at the 6 months following the first mandatory shutdowns in most states. They found that most restaurants are still struggling, and they don't expect their situations to improve. The Restaurant Association says the industry is on track to lose $240 billion by the end of the year.
Kohl's, meantime, they're making some job cuts because of the pandemic. Sales continue to be hit hard, so the store is going to cut 15% of its office staff to save money. The company hasn't said how many people will lose their jobs, but the impacts will affect headquarters in Menominee Falls, as well as offices in New York City and California.
Coming up on 620 this morning, and still ahead for us on this Wednesday, the numbers are in, and we've got our first count for our Coats for Kids campaign. We'll tell you how you can get involved.
And coming up in the next half hour, a big school referendum on the November ballot. A lot of money on the line here, folks. What it could mean for Madison's high schools. Stay with us.
Don't miss the Smith Brothers Factory Authorized Sale on now. Select from many styles on our showroom floor or custom order the Amish crafted sofa just right for you.
Save big on quality Smith Brothers furniture.
At Winnico Furniture, ETC.
My son Beckett was 2 years old when he was diagnosed with leukemia. He would get sick. Aubrey would take him to the bathroom and she would rub his back. Our family is fighting this every single day. If Donald Trump gets rid of our health care law, my son won't be protected. We would have to be making some tough decisions about what medications we can afford. We need a president who will protect our health care, and that's Joe Biden.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
When looking for a TV and internet provider, we know you have a choice. This is Jessica. She still has satellite TV.
Well, I get tons of HD.
Spectrum has tons of HD, and we love Spectrum's 24-hour local news channel. Plus, we get exclusive access to premium original content with Spectrum Originals.
I don't have that.
Get Spectrum TV from $44.99 a month. Call 833-976-4499.
Spectrum Internet starts at 200 megabits with no data caps and a free modem.
We have to get internet from another company, and it isn't nearly as fast.
Spectrum Internet, $44.99 a month.
I'd switch, but I'm stuck in a contract and would have to pay up to $480 to cancel.
Spectrum has no contracts, and they'll pay up to $500 to help you out of yours.
That's it. I'm switching to Spectrum.
Get Spectrum TV and internet from $44.99 a month each. Call 833-976-4499.
Working out? Not canceled. Catching up? Not canceled. Game night? Not canceled. Nap time? Not canceled. If new carpet would make you happier at home, we're here to help with standard carpet installation of just $75. Carpet one room or your whole house. And installation is only $75 while we celebrate our 75th anniversary. Coil Carpet One Floor and Home. Locally owned and operated since 1945.
Since 1902, Carrier has been inventing new ways to make people comfortable. And today, comfort can also mean efficiency, because being more efficient with your home heating can mean spending less on it. And that's something everyone can get comfortable with. If you're ready for Carrier comfort, now you can get cool cash rebates of up to $1,650 on a new system. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Visit our Al Bayer showroom in Cambridge, serving South Central Wisconsin for over 60 years.
In the Mount Horeb area, call Olson Heating and Cooling.
Don't miss the Smith Brothers Factory Authorized Sale on now. Select from many styles on our showroom floor or custom order the Amish crafted sofa just right for you.
Save big on quality Smith Brothers furniture.
At Winnico Furniture, ETC.
Our Coats for Kids drive is going on right now, and every morning we're going to be updating our coat count to show just how much of a difference you're making with your donations. Our drive kicked off Monday, and we've already collected 147 items. That's pretty good. It's important to remember that we aren't just looking for coats. We need all sorts of things. Hats, gloves, mittens, scarves, you know, snowsuits, you name it, we need it. So throw that stuff in your trunk and just drop it on by any Geek Cleaners locations when you're out and about. It runs through October 10th.
All right, 6:23 right now. Whenever you do decide to go back to eat at a restaurant, there's a new kind of margarita you may want to check out. Check out the Dew-garita. Yes, it's a margarita made with Mountain Dew, and you can now find it at Red Lobster. Look at that lime green.
Wow, that's not natural.
Not natural at all. If you're wondering what's in a Dew-garita, your guess is as good as ours. We're assuming it's got Mountain Dew in it, some tequila. But Red Lobster, they're not giving out the official recipe, of course. Whatever's in it, Red Lobster says the new cocktail pairs beautifully with their Cheddar Bay biscuits.
You like those Cheddar Bay biscuits?
I do.
I'll take the biscuits.
Beautifully with those.
So good.
Yeesh.
I don't know. My poor tummy hurts just looking at that.
Your poor teeth. That's just not worth it.
At least not at 6:30 in the morning.
Not at 6:30. Not ever. Boy, that's yeah, interesting there. Good luck for those of you who want to try it. 6:24 right now. Let's take a look at your forecast, Hattie. Another beautiful day. Really, actually, quite nice this week. Just dealing with that haze, but the temperatures you can't complain about.
No, we really can't. Temps have been warming a little bit throughout the week. We're on a very mild morning this morning. 63 degrees here in Madison. Again, skies are clear, but we're not able to see any of the real sunshine this morning. We still have a pretty thick haze across southern Wisconsin. Sun officially comes up at 6:39. So we are losing quite a bit of daylight each day this time of the year. Our current temperatures elsewhere, a few spots in the 50s. From Lone Rock down to Platteville, you're in the upper 50s this morning, but overall a nice mild start. Our forecast today comes to you courtesy of Shadow in Platteville. Don't get your head stuck, Shadow. 76 degrees, though. A pretty nice day today. Lots of sunshine is expected again. It'll be that filtered, hazy sunshine, but a nice day ahead. The high temperature trend is a little bit like a roller coaster over the next 10 days. We're definitely down for the end of the week, but back into the 70s next week. If you're thinking ahead to fall color, peak fall color here in the southern part of the state isn't usually until mid to late October, so about another month from now.
Already seen some trees, though, starting to change around here. It depends what trees that you're looking at. But.
Yes, and as we start to get a little cooler at night, the next couple of nights, these nice mild days and cooler nights, I think we'll start to see more of those leaves turn.
Favorite time of the year. Thank you, Hattie. All right, we're going to take a live look outside in Mobile, Alabama this morning as we continue to track Hurricane Sally. Look at that wind and rain there. We're going to have an update on Sally when News 3 Now this morning continues.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
1, 2, 3, up! My baby don't mess around because she loves me so, and this I know for sure. Shake it.
Right now, you can get $2,000 customer cash on a stylish new 2020 Toyota Camry or Camry Hybrid. Toyota, let's go places.
Attic Angel Community has earned a reputation as the one and only. But what's so memorable to the people who live here?
It's good local heart. Interesting friends.
The view from my window.
Continuing education.
The food.
The amazing art studio.
Happy hour.
There are many reasons to love Attic Angel Community, but there's just one Attic Angel.
People who fight for what's right. For us, that means fighting for you when an accident has turned your life upside down.
I was sworn into the United States Senate in a hospital. My wife and daughter had been killed in an automobile crash. And lying in the bed were my two little boys. I couldn't have imagined what it would have been like if I didn't have insurance to cover them immediately and fully. 40 years later, one of those little boys, my son Bo, was diagnosed with terminal cancer, given months to live. I can't fathom what would have happened if the insurance companies had the power to say, last few months you're on your own. The fact of the matter is, healthcare is personal to me. Obamacare is personal to me. When I see the President of the United States try to eliminate this healthcare, in the middle of a public health crisis. That's personal to me, too. We got to build on what we did because every American deserves affordable health care. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
It's the furniture sale you don't want to miss. It's A1 Furniture's Back and Better Than Ever sale. Save up to 40% store-wide. Living room sets, bedroom sets, dining room sets, all up to 40% off our already low prices. Plus, tax included on every purchase over $4.99. And that's not all. How about take 48 months to pay with no interest to qualified buyers? Most in-store items available for immediate pickup or delivery. Shop in-store or online at A1Furniture.com. Don't miss the A1 Back and Better Than Ever sale. On now.
Breaking down what's on your ballot, how you can get your questions answered about a big school referendum.
And hazy sunshine and mild temps for one more day, then it starts to feel a little bit more like fall around here. A full forecast coming up.
This is News 3 Now This Morning.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us. You'll be able to share your thoughts on a big $350 million referendum and how it'll impact one of Madison's high schools before you see it on your ballot in November.
The school district is hosting a virtual discussion with the community tonight, starting at 5 p.m. They'll be talking about the 2020 Future Ready referenda, specifically tonight for East High School. The plan is to fully renovate labs, learning spaces, and the commons area in that school. There's also a need for a new elevator for accessibility purposes and upgrades to music practice spaces and athletic facilities. This is the first in a series of meetings over the next few weeks, each one focusing on a different school listed on the referendum. Now, speaking of schools, virtual learning is bound to have its hiccups this fall, but hacking is one of the more serious issues districts are facing right now. An elementary school class in the Chicago Public School District was derailed by pornographic images and guns in the first week of learning. A parent says someone with access to the class's Google Meets link was able to get into the virtual classroom and take over the screen. Chicago Tribune reports similar instances have been reported at several other schools in the Chicago area. CPS says its teachers are trained on how to prevent disruptions like that. A Wisconsin teenager is using a service project as a chance to help out his classmates. Jonas Siebert is a 9th grader in the New Berlin Boy Scouts. In order to earn the highest Eagle Scout rank, he needed to complete a service project. Now that school has resumed in-person learning there, Siebert and some 30 volunteers decided to make a little outdoor, socially distanced classroom so kids can take in some fresh air.
Took the area and measured out like 4 to 6 feet. I'm really proud of how it turned out. And they could come outside and learn without their masks on for a little bit, get a little mask break.
The school's principal says everyone was on board to make that project happen.
A new study finds your popularity in high school could impact your health. The study finds 13-year-olds who weren't popular with their peers seem to have a higher risk of developing various heart conditions. The Swedish study is multi-generational and followed men and women born in 1953 as they grew up. A psychology professor at the University of North Carolina says peer status is one of the strongest predictors of later psychological health and outcomes. He suggests likability among peers predicts life outcomes more strongly than IQ, grades, or parental income. If you choose not to vaccinate your child, your pediatrician could refuse to treat your family. A new study is published in the medical journal JAMA. They surveyed U.S. pediatric offices. It found more than half reported having a dismissal policy for families who refuse to vaccinate their kids. Some physicians say it's a way to encourage parents to have their kids get shots. They say it's also serving as a safeguard against unvaccinated children who could endanger other patients. Both the CDC and the American Academy of Pediatrics encourage you to keep your children's vaccinations up to date, especially during the pandemic.
In Rock County, the Janesville's clerk's office is taking steps to make sure you have a smooth voting experience this November. Some of the new measures there include the addition of a 160-pound drop box, a high-speed tabulator, and more communication between the clerk and the postal office. Our partners at the Janesville Gazette report more than 12,000 residents have now requested absentee ballots so far. They expect to send out 25,000 before the election. The deadline for clerks to send out that first round of ballots statewide is tomorrow.
Looking ahead to the spring election, you could be voting on some big changes to the Madison City Council. The council met last night to hear about some proposed changes to how they run the city. The State Journal reports the task force involved recommended that the city, or say rather, that the city's structure is, quote, fundamentally unfair to many of its residents. So they recommend making the 10-member council full-time and quadrupling their salaries up to nearly $68,000 each. The council didn't debate the option. They'll discuss next steps next month.
6:34 right now. Take a look at this new video just into the newsroom this morning. This is CBS This Morning correspondent Manuel Bajorquez. He's reporting in Mobile, Alabama right now, where Hurricane Sally's bringing winds up to 70 miles per hour. You can see him struggling there to keep his hat on in those winds with all of the trees just really whipping around behind him. We're going to take a live look at Mobile right now. Within the last 90 minutes, Hurricane Sally officially made landfall as a Category 2 storm this morning. Just incredible footage coming out from the south and just a lot of rain. You can just see that gas station there just getting flooded.
I imagine that's a parking lot, but it just looks like a lake. There's so much rain. So far, some places in the Panhandle of Florida already have received over a foot of rain from this storm.
It's so slow moving too.
Yeah, it is. 3 miles an hour is the official speed of this storm. Again, it made landfall as a Category 2 storm, but now that it's over land, it is expected to weaken rather quickly. Take a look at Doppler track, though, centered on the Panhandle of Florida. You can see these bands of heavy rain still continuing to pound parts of Florida and Alabama this morning. A tornado watch is in effect for the east side of this storm. That's where the spin in the atmosphere could spin up a few light tornadoes, or a few brief tornadoes rather. Total rain, though, as I mentioned, some spots picking up already over a foot. We could see an additional 10 inches or more of rain across parts of the Panhandle of Florida, and then high amounts as well through Alabama and even into Georgia over the next 48 hours. Here's a look at the forecast track of this storm system. It will begin to veer to the northeast as it rapidly weakens. By tomorrow afternoon, we're talking wind speeds down to 35 miles an hour, so wind won't be as much of a threat tomorrow. It's still going to be a very heavy rainmaker for the southeast. It will continue on that track right through the end of the week. Here's a live look outside this morning. We're not able to see a whole lot in the sky this morning. Still that haze covering the area. 63 in Madison. Our winds are from the southwest. It is mild, though, across all of southern Wisconsin. 61 in the Dells, 59 in Mineral Point. Monroe checks in with 59 as well right now. It's even as mild as 65 in Camp Douglas. Now, our future track forecast model says that we may see a little bit of cloud cover in addition to the haze this morning. That's all as a cold front moves through the area. Temperatures are still going to be in the 70s at lunchtime, topping in the mid-70s this afternoon. But note the wind direction. A northwesterly wind later on today is going to start to usher in some cooler air to the region. So we definitely have a cool down in the forecast, and it starts tomorrow. 64 is our high tomorrow, then 62 on Friday. Heading through the weekend, we're still in the 60s, but a lot of sunshine. So even though we're cooling down, it's going to be a very pleasant weekend ahead.
Yeah, looking forward to the next 10 days, I'd say.
Yeah, me too.
Not bad. Hattie, thank you. President Trump will visit Wisconsin tomorrow, and area police are working hard to prepare. The president will give a campaign rally at the Central Wisconsin Airport in Mosinee at 8 tomorrow night. For many of the local agencies, this isn't their first time preparing for a presidential visit. The president had visited the airport for a very similarly styled event back in 2018. They are preparing for potential protests, though, as well, which will be restricted to a certain area near the airport. Flights could get delayed, but so far nothing has been changed or canceled.
Vice presidential candidate Kamala Harris is continuing her campaigning as well. She went back home to her home state of California for the first time since early March. California Governor Gavin Newsom joined her. The two met with emergency crews and firefighters as wildfires continue to burn out west. Fires are burning in 10 states this morning and have killed at least 35 people and have displaced thousands. President Trump visited California on Monday.
All right, your eyes, they're not deceiving you. This is the final score of last night's Brewers game against Chris's St. Louis Cardinals. Christian Yelich coming out of his slump, helping his team push past the Cards 18-3. The game, anything but boring. Yelich, Ryan Braun, Keston Hiura, and Daniel Vogelbach all homered for the Brewers last night. Game got a little out of hand, though. Take a look at this video. It's coming up here. The umps ended up ejecting both managers. This all happened after a catcher's interference call. Braun's bat hit the mitt of Yadier Molina, leading to a tense confrontation in front of the Brewers dugout. The benches and the bullpen cleared for a brief moment, but everything ended up calming down.
Yeah, they love each other. Those are two teams that get along just great, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Besties.
Hey, beer always pairs well with the Brewers, right? Well, you can enjoy a classic here in Wisconsin now. Yuengling beer is now going to be sold across the state for the first time in its 191-year history. Yuengling and Molson Coors are coming together to sell west of the Mississippi. It's already distributed in 22 states in the east.
That is a creative name. I love that.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, never tried it. I've seen it here and there, but yeah, never had a chance. Now we will.
Makes me want to drink it, that's for sure. All right, well, this isn't something you see every day, folks. Take a look at this. This is a silo at a farm in Spring Grove, Wisconsin. It completely collapsed. Our sister station in La Crosse reports that the farm owner first saw it leaning a few hours before it came crashing down. And get this, it was just filled with corn silage the day before. Just incredible footage there. And heartbreaking for them, because that is a lot of work put into them. I'm sure a lot of the community members coming in to help them after that.
Yeah, they're going to need it.
For sure. Let's take a look at your traffic right now on a Wednesday morning as you head out and about. Things off to a pretty smooth start out there across Dane and Rock counties. We've got no issues to report. Traffic moving along just fine. Let's take a live look outside right now at just about 6:40 this morning. You can see that haze sadly sticking around here across Madison. The sun is up and the skies are clear. You just can't tell with all of that haze. Patty's going to have more in her forecast coming up. You're watching News 3 Now this morning. We thank you for that, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to the all-new Dwellings.
Fall is fast approaching, and now's a good time to prepare your lawn for the winter months. Enjoy all the beautiful fall colors for a change and leave all your hard work to Barnes. Tweet, snap, chat, share, or visit barnesinc.net. If you're looking for the best, you're looking for Barnes, now employee-owned.
If I'm your president, on day one, we'll implement the national strategy I've been laying out since March. We'll develop and deploy rapid tests with results available immediately. We'll make the medical supplies and protective equipment that our country needs. We'll make them here in America. We'll have a national mandate to wear masks, not as a burden, but as a patriotic duty to protect one another. In short, we'll do what we should have done from the very beginning. Our current president has failed in his most basic duty to the nation. He's failed to protect America. And my fellow Americans, that is unforgivable. As president, I'll make you a promise. I'll protect America. I will defend us from every attack, seen and unseen, always, without exception, every time. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Wisconsin weather can be frustrating. Get the latest forecast, alerts, and detailed traffic reports from the News 3 Now team. Download the Channel 3000 Firstborn app, sponsored by Group Health Cooperative, and be prepared for anything headed our way.
I've spent better than half my life and most of my adult life, in the military. 2016, I voted for Donald Trump. Leaders are responsible for everything their organization does or fails to do. When I saw those commercials about, this is what a Biden presidency will bring. No, this is what you have brought. Everything that we have going on today, that's on you. Joe Biden is the first Democrat I'll vote for president. You want a commander-in-chief you can trust, and I think you can trust Joe Biden.
AB PAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
Dwellings, Madison's best kept $150 secret. Now open in Fitchburg.
On the next Live Before, Lisa Briggs will be here taking your plant and garden questions.
And we wrap up our Concerts on the Square series. It's the best of this past summer series.
Connect with News 3 Now on Facebook Messenger to create a personalized news feed just for you. The topics you want, the day's top stories, and push alerts for breaking news, all through Messenger. Learn more at channel3000.com.
So we're 9 months into 2020 now, and we are learning the most popular baby names of 2019 are.
So let's see if any of your kids' names make the list. For girls, the most popular name was Olivia. That's been a popular name since it first became #1 back in 2016. Some of the other popular names: Emma, Ava, Sophia, and Isabella.
Our discussions about baby names was extensive.
Was it really?
We had very long lists for both first and middle names.
Did you get any of your picks?
I think I contributed. I contributed. Like, I'll confirm a name. Like, my wife will throw one out there, and I'll be like, that sounds pretty good.
Okay.
And we'll go with that one.
Team effort.
Yeah. So here's what the list of boys' names looks like. Liam, Noah, Oliver, William, and James. Do you like any of these, Leah?
I don't.
Isn't that the thing, though? Like, you don't want the name to be popular. Like, you don't want your kid in school with, like, 4 other Liams. Like,
so I'll let you
class.
in on a secret.
Yeah.
I want to name one of my kids after my dad, but my dad's nickname is Zeke. And I think that's a really cute name for a little kid.
I like it, too.
Watch it. It's going to become the most popular Madison name of 2020 after I just announced that.
You do it, yeah.
It's a cute name.
Leah will have a Zeke, and then look at that. Zeke's all over the place.
I love if we have any viewers watching with any of these 5 names, they're probably turning the channel after Leah just said she doesn't like any of those names.
Very cute names. Very cute names. Not for me.
They've changed so much over the years, though, like back to the 90s, like when Josh and John and Matt and Mike and Michael, like all these names. And yeah,
I had a bunch of Kyles. There were like 5 Kyles.
We had a lot of Kyles,
in
too.
my class.
You know what name has never been on the list?
Hattie?
Hattie.
That is a rare one.
Never
You're right.
made any of the list.
Hattie was on my list.
Oh, really?
Hattie was on my list for our girls' names. It did not didn't make the final
Didn't make the cut.
I think it's a very cute name.
It was on my list.
We still love you, Hattie. It's all right. Let's take a look at the forecast. 6:45 now on a Wednesday morning. Unfortunately, another hazy start out there, Hads.
Yeah, it looks the same as it did 15 minutes ago. We haven't seen any change. The sun is officially up. We just can't see it yet with that haze in the atmosphere this morning. Take a look at our temperatures. We're not going to complain about it, though. Temperatures are in the upper 50s and low 60s this morning. It's a pretty nice start to the day. That haze is going to stick around today. We have southwesterly winds this morning, but later on this afternoon, there may be a little bit of improvement, probably late in the day. A cold front will be moving through the area, and that's going to shift our winds to the northwest and sort of scour out the atmosphere just a little bit. So we're not going to see any rain from this front, but there will be a shift in the winds and cooler temperatures on the way for tomorrow. Here's a look at your bus stop weather forecast for today, though. Hazy sunshine this morning, and as you come home from school, we're looking at a pretty nice day. Temperatures will be in the 70s this afternoon, so no issues with rain today. Coming up in just a few minutes, though, I mentioned we are going to cool things down as we head towards the end of the week. We'll talk more about those cooler temperatures.
Yeah, a bit of a roller coaster. Thanks, Addie. Stick around. The morning sprint is coming up after the break.
And here, I was looking forward to seeing what names we had for Look Who's 3 today, but we don't have any kids turning 3 today. So if you have a kid turning 3 soon, please let us know so we can pick apart their name. Just kidding. We want to wish them a happy birthday, of course. We'll be right back with more News 3 Now this morning in a moment.
Look Who's 3 is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
Don't miss the Smith Brothers Factory Authorized Sale on now. Select from many styles on our showroom floor or custom order the Amish crafted sofa just right for you.
Save big on quality Smith Brothers furniture.
At Winnico Furniture, ETC.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Just like you, I had problems sleeping. I tried every pillow out there and nothing worked. 15 years ago, I invented MyPillow. It took me 2 years to develop because I wanted to have everything you would ever want in a pillow. I made sure that you could adjust my patented fill so you could have the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of your sleep position. I also wanted a pillow that would last, so I made MyPillow machine washable and dryable. I back MyPillow with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Not only that, I do all my own manufacturing in my home state of Minnesota.
I really like the fact that it was made in the USA. I think that USA products are a better quality product. I've tried a lot of other pillows and nothing's worked like MyPillow.
I'm interrupting this commercial right now to give you deep discounts, not just on my pillows, but also my mattress toppers, sheets, and so much more. For example, you can get body pillows regular $89.99, now only $29.99, or MyPillow dog beds for as low as $19.99 with your promo code.
I used to think that sheets were just sheets. I got the Giza Dream sheets. They are the most comfortable sheets I've ever had.
The Go Anywhere pillow is so easy to just roll up and take anywhere I want to go.
Go Anywhere pillow is really comfortable, so that's what I really like. It's nice and supportive and it's nice and small.
The My Pillow Topper, for the first time, has enabled me to have a cool night's sleep. I'm able to go to bed and just get rest.
That's 3 inches of wonderful that's in the My Pillow mattress topper. It's just like a firm cloud.
My Pillow helps me get a good night's sleep so I can do my job in the morning.
Go to MyPillow.com to get deep discounts, not just on My Pillows, but so much more. For example, you get body pillows regularly $89.99, now only $29.99, or My Pillow dog beds for as low as $19.99 with your promo code.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Donald Trump is lying again. Joe Biden will not raise taxes on anyone making under $400,000. Biden will close tax loopholes for big corporations. Trump's tax cut giveaway exploded our debt, so he's threatening Social Security and Medicare. Biden will make the wealthy and big corporations pay their fair share, so we can protect Social Security and Medicare and invest in schools and health care.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Don't miss the Smith Brothers Factory Authorized Sale on now. Select from many styles on our showroom floor or custom order the Amish crafted sofa just right for you.
Save big on quality Smith Brothers furniture.
At Winnico Furniture, ETC.
The Comfort Sleeper Sale at Rubens Contemporary Furniture, now through October 5th.
6:49, time for the morning sprint.
We start with an update to breaking news this morning. Within the last 90 minutes, crews officially put out a house fire in Monona. It happened in a residential area just off of Winnico Road around 4:15 this morning after a stove caught fire. Officials there say one of the people living in the home is being treated for smoke inhalation.
Madison School District is hosting a virtual discussion with its community tonight. The district will talk about the 2020 Future Ready referenda, specifically tonight for East High School. The proposal includes several renovations and accessibility updates. That meeting is the first in a series of conversations to be held over the next few weeks, each one focusing on a different school listed on the referendum.
On your ballot for the spring election could be some changes to Madison City Council. The council met last night to hear about some proposed changes to how to run the city. The State Journal reports a task force says the city's structure is, quote, fundamentally unfair to many of its residents. They recommend making the 10-member council work full-time and more than quadruple their salaries, up to nearly $68,000 each. The council didn't debate the options, but they will discuss the next steps next month.
There are now more than 91,000 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Wisconsin. 11.5% of those are still active. The state added more than 1,200 new cases yesterday, up from Monday's 979. As for the positivity rate, you can see on this chart it dropped by nearly half since the start of the week. It's down to 11% from more than 20 on Monday.
I'm keeping an eye on social media this morning ahead of a largely anticipated announcement from the Big Ten. College football expected to make a comeback for the Badgers and the Big Ten. The conference could make it official as soon as today. It's a major reversal after chancellors and presidents originally voted against playing football this fall just a month ago. If it's confirmed, we could see a Big Ten kickoff as soon as October 17th.
One of the women who accused a former Badgers football player of sexual assault is now suing the school. Quintez Cephas was acquitted of sexual assault last year after a week-long jury trial. The university ended up expelling him, then readmitted him within weeks of the verdict. The State Journal reports one of the unnamed accusers is accusing UW and the chancellor, Rebecca Blank, of abandoning its own policies along with state and federal laws by readmitting him and keeping her out of the process. He's no longer a student and now plays professional football for the Detroit Lions.
A wedding in Maine is now linked to 7 coronavirus deaths. None of those victims attended the wedding themselves. The August wedding was linked to more than 175 confirmed cases. Around 65 people attended the wedding. The state currently has a ban on gatherings of 50 people or more.
The president denies playing down the threat of the coronavirus pandemic earlier this year. There is an audio recording of him saying just that. He made those comments at a town hall on ABC last night. The president also said that COVID-19 will eventually go away, even without a vaccine, which Dr. Anthony Fauci has said is very unlikely.
President Trump will be back in Wisconsin tomorrow. Meanwhile, it's for a campaign trip in Mosinee. His son was in the Wausau area yesterday for a campaign stop, and Vice President Mike Pence visited Janesville on Monday.
Democratic nominee Joe Biden and President Trump are focusing on Latino voters during Hispanic Heritage Month. Biden hosted a Veterans Roundtable in Florida yesterday, then participated in a Hispanic Heritage Month event. The Biden campaign is also launching Spanish-speaking ads in battleground states.
Today is Mexican Independence Day, and Chicago's Hispanic community going big to celebrate. These are some videos posted by local journalists in that city overnight. Hundreds of cars lined the streets waving Mexican and Chicago flags. There were even fireworks at one point. Police shut down several streets for hours to prevent people from gathering in parts of the city. Another unofficial parade blocked traffic early Sunday morning.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says that she'll keep the House in session until a breakthrough is made on the coronavirus stimulus bill. House Democrats and the White House are still far from an agreement, but it's a promising sign that talks could resume again. Democrats have been pushing for a sweeping bill, while Republicans have advocated for a slimmed-down package.
New data from the Census Bureau shows household income jumped by nearly 7% in 2019, but that progress was cut short by the pandemic. NPR reports the nearly $69,000 median income is the highest since the government started keeping track in 1967. While the job market is still improving, it's far from what we saw last year that drove those historic gains.
Madison residents will have another chance to weigh in on the next police chief. You're invited to join a virtual discussion tomorrow. It starts at 5 o'clock. You'll have to register before you speak. You can watch it on the City Channel.
We're tracking new developments overnight. Manila police say 4 unlocked cars were stolen in as many days. The first happened on West Broadway on Friday, not too far from the Coles. Then 2 days later, someone stole a car from St. Teresa Terrace near the Immaculate Heart of Mary Catholic School. On that same day, another car was stolen on Roselawn Avenue, about 2 miles from where the first car was stolen Monday. The fourth car was stolen from someone's home yesterday, but that location wasn't specified.
For the first time in its more than 150-year history, the Salvation Army is launching its annual fundraising campaign nearly 2 months early. The Chicago Tribune reports they've been helping 5 times as many people this year with basic needs like food and rent. The organization needs help with numbers like that. The Salvation Army has served more than 100 million meals since March and more than 800,000 others through its other programs.
Final look at traffic at 6:55 this morning. As we take a look at the Madison maps right now, we've got no crashes or major delays to speak of, just a couple of slowdowns as you approach the downtown area, both from Park Street and East Washington. Beltline looking so far so good, moving at posted speeds. That's your First Warn traffic.
And in your First Warn weather forecast, we're just able to start to see that sunshine. You can see it right near the horizon coming up over Madison. Still a lot of haze in the atmosphere this morning, though. We're going to stick with that haze through the day today, much the same as the look in Platteville this morning. Weather track showing you not any significant cloud cover right now, though, for the area. Temperatures are in the upper 50s and low 60s for southern Wisconsin starting this morning. We will climb from there back to highs in the mid-70s this afternoon. Winds will shift to the northwest later today as a cold front moves through, and that's going to cool us down for the rest of the week. Highs are back in the 60s on Thursday and Friday. Lots of sunshine, though, and very quiet weather expected as we head into the upcoming weekend. Nighttime lows will be down into the low 40s. Daytime highs will be in the 60s through Sunday. We do warm things back up into the 70s, though, next week.
Thanks, Daddy. Have a great day, everybody. We will see you back here tomorrow morning.